Hey, is this thing on? Hopefully. Let me just take a quick look see here. Okay. Yeah, hello and welcome back for anyone who's been following the channel for a while. First thing you'll notice is this is not my usual setup. Um, so last weekend I finally bit the bullet, got myself a laptop. First new computer that I've had since 2016. So, a full decade later, and well, here I am. I have a computer that's actually capable of running the current version of Windows. I'm still trying to learn the ins and outs of the whole setup. Computers have changed a lot since I last bought one and last used one regularly. So this is all growing pains. Uh, I have a lot of knowledge from back then that's kind of transitioning over, but there's a lot of new shit to go through yet that I'm still learning. So bear with me. Even the camera app is all new and exciting and wonderful, and I don't know if I'm doing it right. Uh, Anyway, I've loaded the background because well, the room's kind of a mess, but this is my bedroom behind me. Um, anyway, life updates, everything I've been doing over the past several weeks, months, past half a year, whatever. Just want to try to get caught up on all that. So yeah, where do I even begin? Well, top priority, I don't know how well the audio is picking up. This is my test run, my first run with the built-in microphone, camera, and all that. So maybe it'll be okay, maybe it won't. I've got a fan running over on that side. Um, It might be picking up. I don't know yet. Probably find out during playback. But anyway, this is just me just saying, please have mercy on me. Please bear with me. And don't hate me too much. So where are we at right now? It's July 20th, 2026. Hey, where are you going? Over here, over here. Camera, camera, over here. It's got this weird auto tracking thing that I'm trying out. Um, but anyway, yeah, in the middle of the work week, um, things have been surprisingly steady at work despite all of the turmoil with the U.S. government and the Iran thing. And you actually, I'm surprised that demand for my company's product is still as high as it is, given that I work in the automotive industry. And I guess our customers are, our customers are the auto manufacturers. So I'm surprised that they're still ordering, despite everything going on. I mean, it means job security for me, but how long is that gonna last? I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah, just want to touch on various things with this update. Um, had my root canal back in June. Was it about 6 weeks ago now? And still dealing with a little bit of fallout from that. I mean, even now, even though the nerve is totally dead in the front tooth, yeah. So I think I covered that in the last update I did, like last month. Um, but yeah, basically, this tooth right here, totally dead. I had a trauma back when I was what was I, 16 years old. Uh, Gym class, got tripped got tripped up in a basketball game. I can't talk. Um, and Yeah, I got tripped up and hit my chin right here, and seems that that shock traveled through, got the tooth, nearly killed it, but there was still a nerve that was the nerve was still functional, though it did leave the tooth discolored. But anyway, it held on for damn near 30 years after that. So props to it for hanging on as long as it did, because the dentist told me back in '09, the first time I saw him, that yeah, this shit, you should expect a root canal eventually. I mean, that was 17 years ago, and it held on until just last month. Anyway, I'm still feeling a little bit of pressure sensitivity, pressure sensation when I push on one certain parts where they worked on. I understand that that's just part of the healing process, and so I can't worry about it too much. Um, yeah, but otherwise in life, the work-life balance is, it's adequate. It's nice having 3 short weeks of work all in a row, because the way that the scheduling is all set up, I work 3 days one week, 4 days the next, 12-hour shifts. And with the holiday being as it was earlier this month, I got a nice stretch of working on 3 days for 3 weeks in a row. That was awesome. Um, yeah, I'm just rambling about the whole thing. And right now I am blind as a bat because my glasses are off, and I'm hoping that the focus and everything is okay, that the lighting is okay, and that I'm not ugly as fuck. Honestly, I've been looking in the mirror since I got my hair done, and the hair I think looks great. I mean, I love the color. I mean, I'm sporting bangs for the first time ever, and I like all that. But something about the way that it's framing my face lately, it's not doing it for me. It's making me more self-conscious. So, uh, yeah, but I don't know. I'm overdue for an eye exam, so maybe I should start looking at contact lenses again. Haven't done those in a couple years. A lot of it has to do with my eyes being more prone to irritation over the last few years, and yeah, wearing contacts for more than a few hours at a time just sets them off. God, I do miss being young when I could just pop a pair of contacts in for 2, 3, 4 days at a time and not have to worry about it. The things we take for granted when we're young. Um, but yeah, so yeah, kind of a personal milestone that I've achieved recently. Has to do with my books, or my book series as it is right now. So anybody who's followed me for a while, I've talked about this in the past. I started a book series back in around 2012, 2013. Did a first draft volume that I completed in 2016. Hated it, so I shelved it for a couple years. Uh, got back into it with a side story to try to jumpstart my whole perspective. And well, everything finally has come together over the past few days, and I've written the before time. Usually you call that a prologue, but the prologue is actually pretty short in comparison to the main story. I've actually written something now that is comparable in length. Actually, I think it exceeds the length of the original story. So I don't think prologue really applies anymore. But anyway, I had spent a long time writing these misadventures of Marexa, and finally reached the point where I was able to bridge this early content with the newer content, and I think it actually worked out pretty well. But now comes the hard part, the shitty part, really, editing the whole fucking thing. And I know I got a lot of work to do, especially on the originalist parts of it, because there was a lot of shit on there that I hated. But it's moving forward. That's the important part. In fact, it's moving forward so much that I have actually begun writing bits and pieces of the second book of the series. I even wrote much of the climax of the second book already. So I really want to share it, but one thing at a time, right? So bear with me. And I know it's a very niche audience kind of thing because it's low fantasy, not a lot of magic or mythical things going on in that world, and I consciously subvert a lot of expectations, a lot of tropes, because you've seen all that other shit before already. So why should I do the same thing that everyone else has already done? So I'm taking a lot of chances. I'm calling out the reader in a few spots for thinking, that I'm going to do one thing and then I wind up totally doing another thing entirely. And the hope is that it'll keep the reader engaged. I don't want to say too much at this point because I want to keep interest, on a nice little simmer for the time being, at least until I've got a second draft ready and can start looking at shopping it around, maybe even get published. But yeah, to say that I'm excited for the for these rewrites, these edits, and eventual publication, hopefully. Yeah, that's is a given. It's an understatement that I'm going to be excited about it. Sorry. So yeah, that's been the biggest thing for me is that I've put a lot of work into resuming this book series, and I feel like my efforts are finally beginning to pay off, at least on a personal level. And if I could just get people, in my circle to actually acknowledge that the whole fucking project or even that I exist, that would be a huge win, I think, at this point. Not frustrating because I talk about it on my personal Facebook page quite often, and no one gives a shit. It's a bit demoralizing. It's caused me to put the pen down more than a couple times over the past few years. Anyway, won't get bogged down by that too much. Um, but yeah, I guess speaking of getting bogged down, here's a fun one. I'm just running these things off like a fucking to-do list. But I assure you, there's no list in front of me. It's just me and the camera and a very blurry view from my eyes, and hoping that you don't hate the way I look. But anyway, I got a fun little thing going on as far as my voice goes. So again, if you've watched any of my life updates, you know I despise my voice. I absolutely hate it. I mean, with a fucking fiery passion, I hate this voice that I have. And well, And shit, that was not supposed to be there. That was a uh, pack of shavers I bought. Needs to go to the bathroom. Anyway, so over the past year or so, I get these episodes, right? And it's just out of nowhere. I basically go mute. Like I lose the ability to speak. Not fully, but it's to the point where the usual methods that I use for speaking, they no longer work, and my voice just says "fuck you." We're not doing this, and I'm left, just unable to speak using the normal methods. Now I am able to bypass it, but it does take a huge toll on my throat and my voice later on because I'm speaking from an unnatural spot. So yeah, what will happen is basically right here, where you're normally speaking from, with the lyrics and everything. When that kicks in, suddenly I feel all the pressure when I try to speak is down here, in that gap, the collarbone area. So did some reading on that last night, and yeah, there's a term for it. Um, and it was fascinating to read that yeah, this whole thing, it's a psychological response to stress and um, overwork of the vocal cords. Basically, my vocal cords are punishing me for pushing my voice higher and compounding that with a depression that I'm so prone to. It leads the brain to go, okay, yeah, we're just going to shut this whole thing down and use it as a defense mechanism because your vocal dysphoria is so horrendously runaway, and yeah, you can't keep doing this, kid. You gotta just give it a rest. So I did some research about it, and yeah, there's a whole bunch of terminology for it, and I guess there are ways of getting around it. Shit, mm, yeah, yeah, like there's shit's trying to kick in again. So yeah, shit, lost my train of thought there. Mm. But yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, it's also kind of liberating. I know, crazy, right? That it's liberating that I lose the ability to speak, so that just so that people don't have to hear me talk because of how much I hate my goddamn voice. Which ironically I'm using in excess here for these fucking videos that make it make sense, right? Dear God, this angle, it makes my arm look fat. Um, but no, on a serious note though, it's yeah, it's a bit of irony that I talk so much about hating my voice, using the voice that I hate to convey my hatred of my own voice. Uh, I'm sure that's inceptional bullshit somewhere. But, but yeah, is there a timer on this camera? I don't know. Okay, yeah, there is one. So coming up on 20 minutes here. I guess I don't want to drag this out too much longer. I just want to say, just wanted to check in briefly. Basically to say that I'm alive, I'm still kicking, and yay, I have a laptop finally. I mean, it was a $900 job that really isn't all that great in today's standards, but it should do what I need it to do. Now later on this week, I've got a second monitor coming, so I can do the whole dual screen thing going on. So looking forward to that. Hey, 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 over here, over here, over here. Um, but yeah, I I don't know if this new format's going to be okay or not, but I'm hopeful. Just because sitting back there on the bed, with the cell phone camera, that it worked kind of, but it felt so half-assed that I was actually and with the microphone being being as shitty as it's been over the past half year, I really didn't like making videos using the phone anymore. So the hope is that the microphone on this laptop is pretty good, picking up what I'm saying here without much difficulty, without much noise, without much feedback, and it just picks up me as I am. But anyway, this will be the end of this upload. So if you made it all the way to the end, let me know what you think of the new setup. I know you can't see my legs anymore. So sad about that, I'm sure. But anyway, I'm out. I will catch y'all next time when the mood strikes. So we'll see you then. We are done.